Hi. I did my best to hold off from doing another video. I'm sure it's getting boring, but I'm going to continue in the therapeutic sense, even if nobody's bloody listening. Yeah, my mental health is really bad. It's whereas yesterday it was just sensations, today it's sensations and pain. I have no idea what to talk about, so I'm going to speak of what my mind is telling me that all of this could be possibly for. All these different sensations. The first one that comes to mind is that my grandfather is getting on, and in a spiritual sense, the grandparents look after the grandchildren on an energetic level. And something that my uncle has said to me in the past about my spine, my connection with my grandfather, my mind is concerned that somehow it's my spine, my energy, my spine, my life force being changed on a spiritual level, and I'm taking back my consciousness from my grandfather. That's one possibility. The other is that this is the effects of the coronavirus, and I've got the coronavirus, and so has many others. And what I'm experiencing on an energetic level is the coronavirus. It's very unpleasant, and for some reason there's a society-wide consensus to keep stum to the effects, obviously for good intentions, using the mental mindset of ignore it, it doesn't exist sort of thing. Ignore it, people won't complain. Ignore it, don't say anything about it, because those who don't know, like myself, will only complain and find it harder. But nonetheless, I'm experiencing this, and I'm almost half certain that others are aware, others are experiencing it, but you're all aware, and that's the difference. I'm going potty as to the situation. What else can I talk about to try and get me through this? Oh, right. Here's one. If anybody wants to come in on a new venture, since I'm being evicted, I'm having to look for a new home. I'm considering purchasing somewhere, and there's lots of scope for others to come on board. It's a boat, a large boat. There are a few ones in greater need of repair, the others pretty much ready to go. And if anyone else is worried about the coming floods, You've got your escape ship. So anyway, if anyone is genuinely, seriously considering investing in a cheap, I can't speak without sounding pissed off. I'm sorry, I'm just pissed off. So if anyone wants to invest in a tanker and have an escape route out of here when the floods come, for them and their families and anybody else, let me know. But you'll have to live with me, and I make a lot of noise. I walk around without any clothes a lot of the time. Anyway, I'm serious. I could do with someone else coming on board, if not others. We could create a mini floating city. It's just an idea, but that's what I'm looking at. I can do it on a budget, but it won't move. Or others can come on board and we could have something quite substantial. And it would be the floods come and go, or should the floods not come at all, you'd have an investment. Stay tuned for that. I'm gonna need help, and then there's gonna be lots of space available on it, so I'm sure I'm gonna make it available for those in need, one way or another. I'm in a lot of pain. The sensations create physical pain, and that's why it's a bit difficult today to grab one of the positive mindset cards and talk my way through it. I'm trying to talk my way through the discomfort first, get myself to a place where it'll be worthwhile to switch it to a positive note. What else can we say? What else can we say? Yes. Not a lot, I guess. Okay, well, let's the pain is really bad. Let's moan my way through a positive mindset card, because I can't end the live stream just yet. Right, what's the choices? Oh, the boat would be in Kent, in Hoo, in Kent. This one. When I'm losing and can no longer find rest into the madness. So my mental health can get pretty relentless at times. It can it's quite often run into 2 week periods of like non-stop pressure and antagonism and unpleasantness, like non-stop. And when that happens, it's hard to get on with life, isn't it? It's like it's like having a child who's 10 times the size of you, and constantly picking at you and wanting attention from you and disturbing you. What I'm trying to say is, with a child, you have a responsibility you can't get away from. I can't get away from my mental health. For me, it's like being bullied, antagonism, and it might not be as relentless as the 2 week period that I just mentioned, but the past 9-10 months have been like a slowed down version of that. So I'm losing, you know. Not a lot's gone my way in the last 10 months, and I have to rest into the madness, and that's the general mindset of how I decided to take action. Okay, I'm being beaten, and once I exhaust the fight in me with different aspects that my mental health is bullying me over, for instance, being evicted, so first and foremost, within my mental health, my attitude is to be honest with myself. I have to experience the emotions of a situation as much as possible in a controlled way. That way I don't have misplaced emotions come at a later time, because misplaced emotions are like, you're gonna have to bear with me, I'm gonna tie this all in, but misplaced emotions, that's an aspect of my mental health disorder I've experienced, and it's one of the most unpleasant. It's like being out and about, being happy, enjoying the nice weather, or just being in Sainsbury's purchasing a bag of nuts, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you have an emotional explosion. And I'm going to try and my words a little better, remembering my mum's want for me to pronunciate my words better, and I've realised I've been quite loose with my speech. So it's like being in Sainsbury's, and all of a sudden an emotional explosion out of nowhere, linked to nothing, and your body tenses to that emotion. You can't do anything. It's just like finding out something where you would angry over, and experiencing it on a physiological level, but with no trigger. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why it's there. So That's been one of the biggest problems in my mental health, and that's what I try and avoid at all costs. And I find that if I'm honest with myself in the moment and try and experience the situation honestly, I don't know, that's where I've come to. That's where my attitude is. But right now I need to scream and swear and fucking smash something. The way my mental health is going about annoying me. So misplaced emotions is one of the more unpleasant aspects. And my attitude is to experience each situation, each of life's problems, as much as I can, honestly, emotionally. And for instance, well, what makes it worse is I'm quite an emotional person and I'm quite a passionate person. So I have to often experience something a lot more than I would otherwise could be bothered to. So for instance, I'm being evicted. Given the situation that's led to this likely eviction, it's incomprehensible to me. I'd never let it get to this point. I would fight for it. It's incomprehensible to me as a person that I could ever put myself in a place where I'd be evicted. It's just not me as a person. It's 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 not me as a person. But nonetheless, my mental health has created a situation whereby I've experienced and I have done the things that have led to this point. And now, it's like the realization point of my mental health. Let's go and I can see the situation. And I'm like, what the fuck? How much is my mental health going to beat me? You know, because I know myself, I wouldn't have done this. I couldn't have. Or if I had done, I could have been honest with myself and taken responsibility for it. But no, it's my mental health on this occasion that's put me here. So, I'm like, I'm absolutely livid. I'm struggling to comprehend how much my mental health is affecting my life, and willing to put me in harder and harder, worse and worse situations. Now, ordinarily, I'd have to experience all of that, but I'm so tired. On this occasion, there's like an apathy towards it, and that's the honest experience of this situation. If I wasn't so beaten, if I wasn't so tired, I'd have to play out. I'd have to really experience the feelings of being betrayed and etc with the situation. But it's just like a flat exhaustion almost. And that's me resting into the madness, you see. I assess the situation, assess where I am, assess what I can give, And on this occasion, I'm just going with the flow a lot more, and I'm looking at trying to find another accommodation. So that's what I'm trying to say. Rest into the madness is like, my mental health is still here. It's still antagonizing me on a daily basis. In no way is this eviction over with. There are still consequences I need to face. But I've dealt with it on an emotional level, or at least I'm dealing with it on an emotional level, and therefore I can. I mean, it's really hard to say it on this particular situation because it is so messy. But I have no choice but to let go. And that's not really my approach to life. But because my mental health is encompassing this situation, I'm letting go to it, you know? Other times it's more like walking down the street, and I love walking, and if you're relaxed, it's such a nice thing to do. When you've got a mental health disorder, and your mental health disorder is taking your left leg and wrapping it around your shoulder on an energetic perspective, and then taking your toes and then tying them all together and letting the pressure come back into your body. These are little insights into how I perceive my mental health affecting my energy body, and it can be felt physiologically. So my body will begin to walk in a different way, and it will become work. Where a nice gentle walk down the street would be enjoyable, it all of a sudden becomes hard work. And when it's like that for a continued amount of time, I have to constantly apply the intent not to fight it. And essentially what the inevitable is that it beats me. I lose to it. I hate the way I'm speaking, I hate my voice, but I lose to it. And this is why I drag my words, because hearing my voice on this level is sanity. And when I go into my white person voice and it goes high, and so disconnected from where I am, it's a mental health disorder in itself. But anyway, my mum told me to pronounce my words, so I'll persist. I forgot where I was, but essentially I lose to it. That's the inevitable. So the best thing I can do is to try and stop myself from fighting it. and eventually it wears me out. But then it's like where my mind was focused before, trying to take control, like right, let's try and do this, let's try and do that, let's try and do that other. My mental health is like bang, bang, bang. It's like, oh, I can't take any more. But it's like my mind all of a sudden lets go, and I then feel the entirety of what my mental health is putting on my body. So all the different pressures, all the different discomforts, it's like, because I'm not trying to actively feel them anymore, it's like the unconscious part of myself can connect to it in its entirety. And in that moment, in all those little bits of discomfort, there's a little bit of rest to be had. So that's what I mean about resting into the madness. It's really, I can appreciate how dense it is to hear this. And I can appreciate I'm probably speaking to myself, because I don't know how people can listen. But for all of that denseness and the heaviness, there might just be a little bit of wisdom to be had. But anyway, this is going on my wall now. I do feel slightly more able to continue with my day. Thank you to Facebook computers for listening.